All right, folks, let's talk about America. We throw around the word democracy like confetti on New Year's Eve, but here's the thing. We're a constitutional republic. Really, hold your gasps of shock and awe. In a nutshell, a republic means we the people elect people to make decisions for us. Think of it like choosing a friend to order pizza. You trust them to pick something everyone will enjoy, or at least not actively despise. But there's a catch. We've got this handy little document called the Constitution, which acts like a giant rule book for our elected officials. It says, hey, you can make decisions, but you gotta stay within these lines. That's the constitutional part of our constitutional republic. This system is designed to protect us from the tyranny of the majority. It was written having in mind what governments cannot do, not the contrary. Just because a bunch of people want pineapple on their pizza, it doesn't mean the lactose-intolerant minority should suffer. The Constitution is there to make sure everyone gets a fair slice. Our founding fathers were pretty smart cookies. They knew that pure democracy could lead to mob rule, where the majority could easily trample the rights of the minority. So they created a system that balances the will of the majority with protections for individual rights. This way, we can all have a voice, and no one group can dominate the others. It's a delicate balance, but it's what keeps our society fair and just. So, next time you hear someone say, "We're a democracy," remember, we're actually a republic. And that's a good thing. Now, before you think democracy's been completely kicked to the curb, hold your horses. While we don't directly vote on every single law, imagine the lines at the DMV, democracy is still the engine that keeps this whole republic thing running if properly used. We get to choose who represents us. Every vote is a chance to say, hey, I like your pizza ordering skills, or you lost my vote when you suggested anchovies. This is the beauty of representative democracy. We have a say in who calls the shots. And it's not just about voting for president every 4 years. We elect senators, congresspeople, mayors, dog catchers, you name it. We probably vote on it. This constant cycle of elections keeps our elected officials accountable to the people. Yes, us. They work for us, remember? Let's rewind the clock a bit, shall we? Picture this. A bunch of dudes in powdered wigs, sweating it out in a stuffy room, trying to cobble together a new government. That's right, we're talking about the founding fathers and the birth of the United States. These guys were serious about not repeating the mistakes of history. They'd had enough of kings and queens calling the shots. They wanted a system where power rested with the people. But they were also wary of mob rule, democracy. Enter the brilliant, if slightly dusty, minds of folks like James Madison, the architect of the Constitution. Madison and his buddies were inspired by Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke, who believed in natural rights and the separation of powers. They knew that too much power in one place was a recipe for disaster, as history shows. Look, I get it. Republic, democracy, it can all seem a bit like a snooze fest from your high school civics class. But understanding the difference is actually crucial, especially in today's world, where these terms are often thrown around like frisbees at a picnic. Some folks try to argue that America is strictly a republic, not a democracy, right? It's like they think there's some magical dividing line between the two. But here's the thing, it's not an either-or situation. We've got a glorious, messy mix of both. We elect our representatives, democracy, but those representatives have to operate within the boundaries set by the Constitution, republic. It's a system designed to balance individual freedom with the common good. A delicate dance, but when it works, it's a beautiful thing. Remember that whole separation of powers thing? It's a fundamental principle in our government. That's where checks and balances come in, ensuring that no single branch becomes too powerful, a dictatorship. It's like a three-way game of rock, paper, and scissors between the different branches of government, the executive, legislative, and judicial. Each has its own unique role and responsibilities. The executive branch, think the president and their crew, is responsible for enforcing the laws. They make sure the laws passed by Congress are implemented and followed. The legislative branch, Congress, makes the laws. They debate, draft, and pass legislation that shapes our nation. And the judicial branch, the courts, interprets the laws. They ensure that laws are applied fairly and justly for each citizen equally. See where we're going with this? It's a delicate balance that keeps our government functioning smoothly. Each branch has the power to check the others, making sure no one gets too big for their britches. This system of checks and balances is crucial for maintaining the republic. The president can veto a law passed by Congress, but Congress can override that veto with enough votes. This ensures that no single branch can dominate the legislative process. The courts can declare a law unconstitutional, but Congress can amend the Constitution, though that's a whole other can of worms for another video. This back and forth keeps the system dynamic and adaptable. It's a system designed to prevent power grabs like in some countries and ensure that everyone plays by the rules. By participating in this system, citizens help maintain the balance and integrity of our society. Here's a radical idea. What if we had a system where everyone, and I mean everyone, had to follow the same set of rules? No special treatment for the rich and powerful. No get-out-of-jail-free cards for politicians. Crazy, right? That's the beauty of the rule of law, a cornerstone of both republics and democracies. It means that no one is above the law, regardless of their position, wealth, or connections. It's about creating a level playing field where justice is applied fairly and impartially. Think of it like this. Imagine a world where the pizza delivery guy could just decide not to deliver your pizza because he doesn't like the color of your shirt. Chaos would ensue. The rule of law, a republic, is there to make sure everyone plays by the same rules, ensuring fairness and predictability in our society. Now, let's circle back to that whole separation of powers thing. It's a concept that might seem abstract, but it's essential for the functioning of our society. It's not just some fancy phrase the Founding Fathers came up with to sound smart, though they were pretty fond of sounding smart. They designed it with a clear purpose in mind. It's a fundamental principle that helps to safeguard our freedom and ensure that no single entity can dominate the political landscape. Think about it. If one person or group held all the power, making the laws, enforcing the laws, and judging those who break the laws, well, that's a recipe for tyranny. History has shown us time and again that concentrated power leads to oppression. It's like letting the same person order the pizza, cook the pizza, and then decide if the pizza is good enough to eat. It just doesn't make sense, right? By dividing the government's power into 3 branches, we create a system of checks and balances that prevents any one branch from becoming too dominant. This system ensures accountability and fairness. It ensures that different perspectives are considered, power is distributed, and the potential for abuse is minimized. This way, our democratic republic remains vibrant and resilient, reflecting the will of the people. So, there you have it. The difference between a republic and a democracy isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about recognizing that these two concepts can and do coexist within a system designed to protect individual rights and promote the common good. The next time you hear someone say, "America is a republic, not a democracy," you can calmly explain that it's not that simple. We're a nation founded on the principles of both, a unique experiment in self-governance that continues to evolve and adapt, and hey, if we can all agree on that, maybe, just maybe we can finally agree on a pizza topping. Please leave your comments, like, and subscribe. Thanks.